Have you ever had one of those moments where you either reflect back and you regretted not doing something? Maybe I'm not talking so much about what you've done, but regretting the things that you haven't done. Well, I'm going to share one of these random moments because as I've been working away on a piece of work that I'm doing at the moment, I remembered a story which I'm going to share with you. And this is a true story. Now, once upon a time, I still like shoes, but once upon a time, I really, really liked shoes. And this is from 17 years ago, okay? In 2003, I went to Australia. And if my Australian friend, who's actually connected to me here on Facebook, sees this, she will be able to attest to this too. I went to Australia. I was there for 6 weeks. And me and my friend went into one of their big department stores. I think it was David Jones, but went into one of their big department stores. And in this department store, I saw the most gorgeous pair of shoes. Like I say, I do like my shoes. I'm not a massive shoe person, but I do like my shoes. So we went into the department store and I tried these shoes on. They came in gold, silver and black. So the first dilemma was, oh my gosh, which ones are going to be the best ones? I tried these shoes on, and as I strutted up and down the shop, literally the women that were surrounding me were looking at me walking with the shoes and literally saying to the assistant, can I try them on in my size? And they were like ordering these pairs to try on their size. These shoes were gorgeous. They were by a designer called Pura Lopez. So as I strutted up and down, even my friend was like, you've got to get the shoes. I loved the shoes, they felt good, they were gorgeous, they were comfortable, they were just my style. But I hesitated and I waited and I thought about it. And I thought to myself, let me have a think about it. And I was going to meet some friends in a little while. I think sort of a few minutes down the line, I was going to meet these friends and my then husband. And I thought, I know what, I'll ask them, see what they think to the shoes and come back. Now, there is a moral to this story, but just something that I wanted to share with you as this came back to me about regrets. Because in life, we have regrets on different scales. Usually the biggest regrets come around the things that we didn't do, not the things that we did do. So when I think back throughout my life, and especially think back throughout my life as a visibility specialist, which has only been the last decade of my life, so about a fifth officially, but longer if you count all the time that I was helping people to stand out and didn't know it was a thing. So I think about some of the things that I've been lucky enough to achieve, and I'm looking down because it's like, what do I share? These are things that I often refer to as pinch me moments. There was speaking at Google was a definite pinch me moment. And part of it was, oh my gosh, I'm at Google. But another part of it was being able to do the work that I love and loved and love, speaking to the sorts of people that were just really kind of gorgeous people, wanted to do good in the world and drank it in. You know, there was a time I sat in Merivale Spa and I decided to treat myself, which actually made me feel quite uncomfortable because I came from very humble beginnings. I wasn't brought up to just go here, there, everywhere at the drop of a hat. I was flying to America and I was in Tucson, Arizona. And when I found out how close the spa was to where I was going to be, I made sure that I booked myself in there for a couple of nights before flying home. Now, why am I talking about travel, especially right now when you might be watching this at a time when we're in lockdown? I'm talking about regrets and things we didn't do. Well, regrets, like, why are they so important? Regrets are the things that play on our mind. And as many of the pinch me moments that I've had over time where I've been able to do things that I haven't even dreamt of, things that I've planned, things that I've wanted, one of the things that stays with me are the things that didn't happen. These are the things that are definitely regrets for me, the things that play on my mind. And it's interesting that when I work with people And when I speak to people and we talk about goal setting or going for something that we want, especially in terms of being more visible, it's quite interesting that sometimes the things that we don't achieve are the ones that lay heavy on our mind. So what can we do about this, and why is this important, and what's this got to do with shoes? I wanted to share, obviously you would have seen the banner on the page, and if you've followed me at all on any social media channels or on my email list, you would have heard me speak about this too. In August, I've planned a 3-day, it's a live event, but it's going to be delivered virtually online, called Visibility Made Easy. And a lot of the time, when people host these types of events, they'll tell you why it's a good idea to come along. They'll tell you what's in it for you, which is all important. I thought I would do a Simon Sinek and start with why. I thought I would share with you why this event has come about. And when I was thinking about this has got everything to do with regrets. You see, I have to be visible because I'm a visibility specialist. If I didn't, do radio interviews, if I didn't do public speaking, you might think that you can't do it too. If I didn't show up on video with very, very fluffy lockdown hair, and every time I showed up on video, it was studio ready with lighting, perfect lighting and makeup, you would think that you would need perfect lighting and makeup too. But the truth of the matter is, these videos with, amateur lighting, no makeup, are some of the places that have got me called into some very big brands and very big companies where people have asked me to speak, where people have asked me to teach, where people have asked me to share, and I've been paid for the privilege too. What I want to say to you is that you don't always have to get it perfect. And the reason that I wanted to share with you that I put together Visibility Made Easy is that some of you would have attended some of my events over the years, and some of you would have attended my event in 2014, 6 years ago, where I did the same thing, 3 days online. There was no pandemic, there was no pivot, there was none of that going on. And I really enjoyed the experience. So when I think about regrets, a lot of the time I hear people's regrets. They'll tell me about their hopes and dreams, who they want to be more visible to, the people that they would love to work with, what they'd really love to do. It normally comes out in that way, but I do this, but I'd really love to do that. You have hearts, dreams, desires. You want to do it because you want to be visible in a way that serves you, in a way that serves your business and works around your family. And then a little element of doubt creeps in. And I see so many people doing such great things. I've just received a LinkedIn recommendation from somebody that I worked with many years ago who has hit it out of the park. That wasn't just to do with me, that was to do with them and what they did with these visibility nuggets that were being shared and how they put them out there into the world and how they then built their own visibility, how they then built their own crescendo and how they put themselves out there in the world. That was all down to them. And I feel like sometimes in people's lives and in people's businesses, I can be the catalyst that starts that off. I love being reminded of what people do with my work, but what I don't like hearing about are the regrets. And I often think about the people who have said, I really want to do this, they've dreamt big, they've wanted to put themselves out there, they wanted to get their work out there in a way, they wanted to stand out in a crowded market, and especially now with COVID and everything that's going on, people want to stand out in a much bigger, brighter way, and they want to stand out not because they want to show off, but because they really want to make a difference to the lives of the people that they help and that they work with. And I get so much joy and pleasure helping people to do that. I can't do everybody one by one at a time. There aren't enough hours in the day. But the thing that does sadden me are those people that express that desire to do that. And then I see them and I ask how they're doing and they say, yeah, I'm still going through my notes, or yeah, one day I will. And it becomes a regret. So let me tell you what happened with those shoes. I decided to speak to the friends and stuff, and they agreed the shoes looked amazing, but they were designer shoes. They were, at the time, 17 years ago, 350 Aussie dollars, maybe more than that. And when they saw them, they agreed they looked really good. But then they said, in fact, one of the comments was, give me that money and I could probably make them for that. Well, the truth of the matter was they can't. They're not a shoemaker. They didn't get the value of this gorgeous pair of shoes that were leather shoes with leather soles that were handcrafted and handmade, hence the craftsmanship in there. They didn't understand that. So again, they said, you know what? You can probably get something similar. Guess what? I listened to their good advice, their seemingly good advice, and I left the shoes behind. As I got to the end of my time in Australia, as I said, I was there for 6 weeks, I kept thinking about these shoes. But by this time, I wasn't even in Sydney. I was hours away in a different part of Australia. So as I got on the plane to go home, I thought, don't worry, when I get back to the UK, I'm going to seek out those shoes. And guess what? I never found them. And even 17 years later, I still think about those shoes a few times a year. Every time I go into a Pura Lopez concession, I hope that she does a retro collection and brings that style of shoe back. And although I've seen shoes that look similar, I've never seen anything the same. Now, this is a pretty kind of like nondescript regret and a nondescript problem. And I think about it a lot. So imagine being the person who thinks about being more visible, putting yourself out there, making an impact in the world, being able to confidently publicly speak wherever you want to. I don't know, maybe your thing's a TED Talk. Maybe your thing is speaking to more groups. Maybe it's connecting with more parents or children. Maybe it's even about making a difference to their education. Maybe it's about helping people with their pets. Maybe what you do is more internal, heart-centered work, so you don't feel like you need to put it on blast everywhere. You might help people with physical ailments, with health and well-being. You might help people to take the stress out of their daily life. But the thing that really affects me is when people don't do something with those desires or dreams. Now, by all means, go out there. See if you can find an alternative. See if you can make a difference with other people that may be able to help you. But as I found out with my shoes, there wasn't anybody else making those shoes in that way. So my invitation to you is to go up to the banner of this page and have a look at the caption, because the tickets are still on sale for the event, and they will be pretty much up until a few days before, which is the 4th to the 6th of August. But up until this Friday, so you've got 2 more days left, if you want to grab your seat, even if you can't make all of the 3 days, you will get access to the recordings of that for the next 7 days. If you want to be able to make a difference in the world, put your work out there and stand out in a way that feels credible, comfortable and with impact, then I invite you, come and join us. Come and join me and the other gorgeous people that have said yes. I'm trying to think of the different types of people. We've got a really great array of people. We've got men and women as well, which is great. So come and join us. Come and let these 3 days be you putting your stick in the ground, your mark in the sand, and saying, I choose to go out and I choose to be more visible and I choose not to be scared of it and I choose to be consistent and I choose to make an impact and really make my difference in the world. Spend 3 days where this is not going to be a watch and learn for 3 days. This is going to be learning some stuff, but also doing some stuff. I've created some workshop spaces over the 3 days as well, so that you can come out of the other end having done some of the stuff and being clearer, having clarity on the impact that you actually make in the world. And for those of you that want to book a standard ticket, you're going to get all of that. Those of you that want to book a Time to Shine ticket, you're going to get an hour with me before the event where we get crystal clear on what it is you need to be able to stand out. So thank you for listening to my story of the shoes, and if anyone sees a pair of gold Pura Lopez shoes, little circle strappy sandals on there, please let me know. I've searched high and low for years after seeing them in the shops. But most importantly, don't create a regret in your life. Don't create a regret for being visible. Don't hide. Shine your light out into the world so people know what you do, so people can see what you do, and people can make the most of everything you do. So, until tomorrow, bye for now. And by the way, if you want to continue this conversation, by all means, pop into the Vibes Tribe group and speak in there. Let us know, do you have any business regrets? Are there any opportunities that you didn't take that you wish you had? And what are you going to do about that? Bye for now.